There you go.
Hello, and welcome to another session of the Mastermind Book Club. I am CEO David Diaz. To my right is Charles Culmer, and below is Gina Pouchie and Reggie Hilliard. Welcome again to the Mastermind Book Club. In this session, we are reviewing the most dangerous manifestation technique. Works so fast, it scares people. I'd like to call on Reggie Hilliard to give his brief summary on this audiobook.
Hello, everyone. Reggie Hilliard at the Mastermind Book Club. So, essentially, what is mostly being focused on or touched on in different ways is frequency. Well, not just specifically that, but the whole thing of how we're able to manifest has to do with a frequency at which we are operating at. The higher we resonate at that particular frequency, the more we become a magnet for the things that we wish to have happen or come into our lives. So, a lot of us think about visualization, things of that nature, right? And visualization is a way to get something to come into the picture of what it is that you want to see show up in your life, or a particular picture you would like to see show up in your life. But the reality is that the vibration is the thing that you need before anything. The more you channel that energy, the more you see that energy show up in you in terms of how you feel. There's this law of assumption, which has to do with filling the wish of the wish, filling the wish of the wish fulfilled, or something along those lines. There's a guy by the name of Neville Goddard that touched on that. So if you were to just channel that energy and feel that energy of the thing that you want or the thing that you desire, the things that you desire, the thing of things you desire start to show up in your life. And the more you're able to harness that energy and feel that energy of that thing, the more you can readily have that thing appear in your life. Now, there are some safeguards because if you're not whole within yourself, you haven't done certain levels of work, there may be some fear that keeps you from manifesting things, which could be a good thing because if you were to have all those things that you like to have in your life and you're not ready for it, that could be pretty catastrophic. So the key is that there's some safeguards there to keep you from having those things until you're ready. And then as you become ready or more ready, then you can see the things happen or see these things in your life. So that's one of the key points of the book. There are some other things. I'll just touch on that because I think it's good to just keep it short and sweet. Main thing, energy, vibration, harness that energy and vibration, resonate at that frequency. The more you do so, the more you can have things that you desire in your life the more you can have the things you desire in your life to have those things, particular things show up. So I'll start with that.
Wow. Awesome. Awesome, Reggie. Thank you very much for sharing. Now I'd like to call on Gina Pouchie.
Hello, everyone. And I was just thinking, I had these classes that I took once, and what we had to do was sit down face to face with another person, like, almost touching their knee. And we are looking in each other's eyes and we were making statements. And there was this avatar program actually, and it says, I said, I would look at you as I'm looking at the screen now, or one of you, and I would say something like, I am the source. And when I said those words, I would notice that in the back of my mind, there was something, that saying, oh, no, you're not. And, you're just this or you're just that and so forth and so on. And so I would just continue doing that exercise with the other person until I had no doubt and I felt no doubt in my mind for what I was saying. And that took a long, long time to do. There are a couple of quotes that stuck out to me when I was listening to this audio. And one of them was that reality is not judging you, it is simply obeying you. And the second one is the universe is not granting your desire, it's mastering your consciousness. So it's like some of the things that we desire and we want in life, they're there already for us. It's just that we need to become aligned with them. So like Reggie was saying, energy, he mentioned that. And if we step into that energy, into that field, then we will be able to realize the things that we're wanting to realize rather than just saying, that someone would ask you, do you believe? Do you believe? And then you say, yeah, I believe. But then you have some doubts in the back of your mind. And so nothing is going to happen for you if that's the case. David.
Can you repeat the two quotes again, please, before we?
Yeah, sorry. Let me pull them up here really quick. It says, reality is not judging you. It is simply.
Oops. Powerful quotes. Probably pause her. So as Gina comes back online, we'll get with you. In the meantime, I'd like to call on Charles Culmer.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Mastermind Book Club. I love what she said, that I am the source. And then one other quote they were saying, I am ready. What you are the source. You are the true initiate of what God created. God said in his favorite book that he knew you before you entered your mother's womb. In other words, you were there. So also to piggyback on something that Reggie always talks about is that a lot of stuff that we look at in life is fake, including the time contingent. Time is only relevant on Earth. But really, if you look at your inner self, the consciousness that you have within, it surpasses time. You are in a vessel while you're here on Earth, and everything that you want is already there because you've already gone through it. It's one of my favorite things that people say. If you read to the end of my favorite book, it says that you have already won. How is that possible if you didn't get to there yet? But it's possible because you've already been there, because your reality is already been through. You've already seen it. So if I'm at a higher elevation, I can see here and I can see there. The thing of it is, what the book is talking about is getting to that conscious level where you're at that higher.
Nope. We're losing Charles as well. Oh boy.
The fractal break where your conscious and your reality come into play. It's just amazing to me. This book revealed a lot of different things because the true greatness is within you. What you're seeking to create or what comes to you is because you have the ability to already do it. So my thing is, I'm a multimillionaire standing, so I'm gonna stand for you. I have to believe that because what you have in here, you will also have here. But it takes a minute. It takes the manifestation of it. Like Gina was saying, you have to believe. You can't have doubt. You can't have any negativity because that proves that you're unworthy of having what you say because you didn't have what you say. So the reality of the book is that awareness, uh, discipline, and just knowing who you are is the key to getting what you desire because what you seeking is already seeking you. Thank you.
Charles, that's very powerful. And I mean, if you don't believe it, then you're not going to achieve it and you're not going to become it. So you are totally correct on that. And, as each of my colleagues has said something very important, it's pretty much in my notes. Most of us forget to constantly put out their positive energy, being grateful, and just believing throughout the day and creating a powerful magnetic field that attracts the desires that you want and believe that you already have it. Just be grateful for what you want now. Be grateful for what you want now. Now, before I continue, I just want to ask Gina Pouchie, because you had frozen, your words were so powerful, you froze. If you could repeat those two quotes, because I really like them, and Charles picked up on them as well.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. It says, reality is not judging you, it is simply obeying you. And the other one was, the universe is not granting your desire, it's manifesting your consciousness.
So in reference to what Gina said, why it struck me is that yesterday I was with three neighbors outside in the street. And, here in New York, you have to move your cars. And there were street cleaning rules. And I was just finished parking and I found these three guys and they were talking about terminal cancer. And The one guy said he had terminal cancer. I said, what do you have? So he said he has prostate cancer, and that he's at stage 4, right? So I told him, are you open to new ideas? He said, no, the doctors want to take out $200,000+ out of me, and I'm not going to give it to them, and I'm just getting ready to die. Before I reach my 50th birthday, I'm already predetermined. I said,
Wow.
if that's what you want, then you're entitled to that. So what Gina said struck a chord, because what can you say the quote again? Once more? Sorry. The one that's
That's all right.
sorry.
Right. The one that reality is not judging you, it is simply obeying you.
Correct. Reality is whatever we want it to be. If you say you can't do something, you're right. If you say you can do something, you're right. If you're grateful for something you don't presently have, but you're grateful to have it now, you are correct as well. So reality is whatever you want it to be, and this is so, so powerful. Detaching from negativity, detaching from the negative words, because our body picks up on it. Our body picks up on it. And, if it hears something negative, the body's going to say, the master wants more negativity on this. So it'll give it to you. If you say you have an onset X, for example, like you're going to get sick. I don't want to say it, but then it's going to happen. So be careful what you say. I feel powerful. I can do anything. I am with God. I am here with my colleagues. I am here with you, the listeners. That's how powerful this is. Now, I want to ask each of our members here is, from these words, what do you get out of this book? Emotional intensity, because it mentions the words in there. What type of emotional intensity do you think the book is referring to?
I will speak to. So when I share with people like using any of these practices, I'm always saying to them, with anything, have intent, like be really intentional, and do it with a certain level of energy and emotion that's like strong, right? Because the frequency with the frequency that you're attempting to get to relies on you to reach a certain energy state, right? I mean, the frequency, in order to get to that level of frequency, you have to kind of channel it. And the channeling of that energy is going to happen when you put this certain level of energy, emotional energy into it, that then brings you up, brings your intensity up, brings that frequency up to then get you to the point of where you can feel like you really have this thing, right? And there's that law, like I said, Neville Goddard talks about it, the law of assumption, which people may mistake as this whole idea of fake it till you make it. That's not what that is. That's saying act as if you are currently in the state of, I have this money, I have this opportunity right now, I have this job. And when you say it that way and you're really like emotional around it with good energy, positivity, you actually feel like you have the thing. And then that makes you a magnet for the thing that you desire and or other things as well, because just maybe you're requiring working towards a particular thing, but that energy that you resonate at is also enough to bring other things to you. So that's when you talk about emotional intensity, is that energy that allows you to get to that state to where you become a magnet for the thing that you're looking to get into your life.
And I think you
Reggie.
mentioned it too, the feeling is the secret, like, Neville Goddard says. And so you're saying it, but you're saying it with certainty. It's not like, oh, this is a maybe or so forth and so on, perhaps. This is like certainty, yeah. And not allowing your mind to go to the right, to the left, from behind, but just staying there in that moment. You can't serve two gods. If you do that, then your mind is being split in a different direction and nothing is going to happen.
Correct.
Well, I'm gonna say that, manifestation requires permission. It requires permission because, like someone said, we're all energy, and the energy that you take in, you have to be able to recognize where you are with it. You can't have doubt. You can't have the emotional response of negativity because it works both ways, a swing of the pendulum. So if you become positive and you're looking more towards the frequency of awareness and control, you will have what you say. When you say what you have, you'll have what you say. It all comes from within. Everything that we see came from the thought, then came from the process. Even this chair I'm sitting in, how do I know it's going to hold me? You just have to have that belief in it. And that's the belief that I was talking about, that once you arrive to a higher plane, you can see that you are already above all your circumstances and that you win in the end. So you have to already walk in life as you already know that you have everything you need. There's no need to worry. He's already praying for you. As my little brother says. I get a lot of this from him. I'm giving him some credit today. Reggie Hilliard.
Very good. Very good. Because we all learn from each other. No one person knows everything, but all of us together make a powerful team. There's no I in team. There is an M and an E, but, I'd say that teamwork makes the dream works. And most people have heard that saying. But this is the reality of everything that you just said. These are the terms. Combining visualization with powerful emotions. Combining your communication, your speech with powerful emotions. Walking with powerful emotions. Being grateful with powerful emotions. You all just said that, but I don't know if you realized that those are the things you were portraying right now. And that's how important this book is are we truly living what we want now, before it comes, or as it's coming? Are we truly living it? Some people will get scared when they see it coming and they'll run away. So which are you? The next thing is on clarity. This is the last one, clarity and specificity. What example or comes to mind in reference to clarity and specificity? Because this is the main manifestation technique that this book mentions, but most people won't catch it that way. What extreme clarity and specificity do you need to acquire, or how do you go about it? Like, do you meditate? Do you jog? Do you do exercise? Do you go to a church? And so on. Go ahead, Charles. Go ahead.
I was going to say that the world will respond to your awareness from what you just said. The world will respond to what you are aware of. Nothing more, nothing less.
If you were in the Matrix and you believed you could dodge bullets, you could. But most people don't. If you believe you can bend a spoon, you could. But most people don't. I tell myself regularly, this is all an illusion, with the sense of saying that I am real and what's out there, just in general, is there to my benefit if I want it to be. Right? You are here thanks to God, and we're all here because of clarity and specificity. Meaning, we're looking to gain knowledge. We're looking to grow. We're looking to achieve what others don't achieve. And that's why I said in our group today, It's okay that you've not noticed. We're here 6 to 7 years now, if not more. And the best things that are created take on average 10 years. That's just the way it is. And, most people, including us, are ready to bail out. And we don't want to bail out. We got to keep going. We got to jump on the bandwagon. You can jump off, but don't forget to jump back on, because you're this close to reaching that goal. Whatever the goal is, whatever you want, you're going to get it. You're going to get it. So, guys, what do you find on clarity and specificity? I know Charles spoke already. So if Gina, Reggie, if you want to say something, if you don't have to.
I mean, it's really the more you have. So, I mean, the words like awareness, I get that, right? But the more you have, it's kind of like when you take a magnifying glass from the sun and direct it on a particular surface, toward that sun, towards a particular surface. If you have the sun's light coming through that magnifying glass, that's focus. And then if you focus that energy in that way, you can then create fire, right? So that's what clarity is. It's like that directed energy with no doubt, nothing skewed any sort of way. It's coming direct. The source is direct, nothing cloudy about it, and it's taking you from point A to point B. So when you're so in that way connected to where you know exactly where you're going, what you have to say, all that kind of stuff, and you kind of move in that way, you're taking the shortest path from point A to point B. So when you're looking to manifest, this is like a way in which to manifest easier, which is to have that very centered state of where you have exactly what it is that you have, and you have no doubt about it, and you can bring that reality or that particular, let's say, place of where you are to the other place of reality of what it is you're trying to create. So that's really what we're speaking to, being so sure about what you have, or what, the information or whatever it is that you have at your disposal, to then using that to taking you to a place that is the place that you want to go. So it's really the way I look at it. The more you have that doubtless position, there's nothing to get in the way of it, because you're not bringing energy that sidelines you or takes you off course, because there's nothing in there that speaks to anything other than this is how it's going down, this is where I'm going, this is what's going to happen. Nothing else gets in the way, period. This is it, and you just go. And then when you do it that way and you focus with that intensity and intentionality and energy and all that sort of stuff, you see these things show up in your life. So that's one way that I would say it.
Thank you, Reggie. Thank you for sharing. And glass in general, but we can do it. You're able to do it every day and day. So let's find that focus. Find the focus. Gina, any last words?
Just think it's important to have clarity of mind, clarity of purpose. In those ways, just, steer that ship right in the direction you want it to go, and just keep going.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. So again, manifestation techniques that are mentioned in this book: extreme clarity and specificity, visualize with powerful intentions, talk it, walk it, believe you've received it, act as if it's already received. Detach from every other intention that is not benefiting you. Be clear. And lastly, consistently, high vibration, consistency and high vibration, have a powerful energy, positive energy, gratitude, and believe throughout the day, and create a magnetic pull, magnetic field, so that you attract what you want. Thank you for listening to us. This is the Mastermind Book Club. Until the next one, where we'll review another empowering book. Take care.